Hello, and welcome. Today we're going beyond landscapes into the heart of what it means to move, to seek a new life. We'll explore which Asian countries are at the center of US immigration debates and why. This isn't about politics, it's about people, families, and dreams. If these stories matter to you, please subscribe and help us keep these conversations going. Let's begin. Let's start with China, a nation of immense history and global significance. We often hear about its economic power, its technological advancements, and its growing influence on the world stage. But beyond the statistics and the geopolitical strategies, there's a human story that often gets overlooked. It's a story of individuals, families, and communities whose lives are deeply intertwined with the relationship between China and the United States. US-China tensions aren't just headlines, they're not abstract concepts debated in boardrooms or political arenas. They shape real lives. They impact decisions, futures, and the very fabric of human connection. These tensions cast a long shadow, affecting everything from academic pursuits to family reunions. Students, ambitious and bright, who dream of studying abroad, expanding their horizons and contributing to global knowledge. Families, separated by distance and circumstance, longing to be together to share milestones and to support one another through life's challenges. Entrepreneurs, innovative and driven, seeking opportunities to build businesses, create jobs, and foster economic growth across borders. Visa restrictions and suspicion, once almost unimaginable, now cloud the dreams of thousands who once saw America as a beacon of opportunity, a land of freedom, and a place where anything is possible. The American dream, once so attainable, now feels distant and uncertain for many. Imagine working for years to study in the US, dedicating countless hours to academic excellence, mastering a new language, and preparing for a life-changing experience, only to have your future questioned because of your nationality, to face scrutiny and doubt simply because of where you were born. Families worry about their children's safety, their futures, and their ability to pursue their dreams without facing undue obstacles. Communities feel the chill as the vibrant tapestry of cultural exchange and collaboration begins to fray. And the human cost is immense. The emotional toll, the lost opportunities, and the erosion of trust are difficult to quantify but deeply felt. Policies targeting Chinese nationals don't just affect individuals, they have far-reaching consequences that extend beyond personal stories. They impact America's innovation and diversity, hindering progress in science, technology, and the arts. When talent is restricted, everyone suffers. The narrative has shifted from opportunity to suspicion, creating an atmosphere of uncertainty and fear, and it's exhausting for those caught in the middle, constantly navigating complex regulations and facing potential discrimination. Behind every policy are people, real individuals with hopes, dreams, and aspirations. Students eager to learn and contribute to society. Researchers dedicated to advancing knowledge and solving global challenges. Families who cherish their connections and strive to build a better future for their children. Their stories are the real story, the human dimension behind the headlines and the political rhetoric, of resilience in the face of adversity, of individuals who refuse to give up on their dreams, heartbreak, of families separated, of opportunities lost, and of the pain of discrimination, and hope that bridges can be rebuilt, that understanding can prevail, and that a more just and equitable future is possible. When we talk about China, when we discuss its role in the world, and when we formulate policies that affect its people, let's remember the faces, not just the headlines. Let's remember the human beings whose lives are impacted by our decisions. Every journey is personal, every dream is unique, and every life has value. Let's not lose sight of that. Let's not allow fear and suspicion to overshadow our shared humanity. Their dreams are what's truly at stake. The dreams of a generation, the future of innovation, and the very soul of our global community. Now let's travel to India. For many Indians, the American dream is Silicon Valley, top hospitals, and world-class companies. The H-1B visa once opened doors, but now it's a source of anxiety and endless waiting. Imagine building a life here. Your kids grow up American, yet your future hangs on a temporary visa. Green card backlogs mean decades in limbo, unable to fully belong. Layoffs can force families to uproot overnight. Children of H-1B holders face aging out and self-deportation. These are not just workers, they're neighbors, innovators, and friends. The debate often ignores their contributions and humanity. It's not just about jobs, it's about fairness and promises kept. The American dream for many is lived on a knife's edge. Their perseverance is remarkable, but the system demands too much. This story needs to be told. Let's turn our attention to the Philippines, a nation with a profound and enduring connection to the United States. We're going to delve into the lives and experiences of Filipino Americans, a community that has woven itself into the very fabric of American society. Their story is one of dedication, resilience, and unfortunately increasing uncertainty in the face of shifting policies. Filipino Americans are the backbone of U.S. healthcare. They form a critical and often indispensable part of our medical system. From bustling city hospitals to rural clinics, their presence is felt in every corner of the nation, providing compassionate care and unwavering support to patients from all walks of life. Their contributions extend far beyond mere labor. They bring a unique blend of cultural sensitivity, dedication, and expertise to the healthcare landscape. Nurses, the unsung heroes of our hospitals, working tirelessly around the clock to ensure the well-being of their patients. They administer medications, monitor vital signs, provide emotional support, and advocate for their patients' needs. Their dedication often goes unnoticed, but their impact is immeasurable. Caregivers, the compassionate individuals who provide essential support to the elderly and those with disabilities, allowing them to maintain their independence and dignity in the comfort of their own homes. And essential workers, who keep our society functioning, often working long hours in demanding conditions, ensuring that we have access to the goods and services we need. Family-based immigration is central to their community, a cornerstone of their cultural values and a driving force behind their desire to build a life in the United States. The ability to bring family members to the U.S. is not just a matter of personal preference, it's a fundamental aspect of their identity and a way to maintain strong ties to their heritage. But new policies threaten to sever these ties, creating a climate of fear and uncertainty within the Filipino-American community. These policies not only impact individual families but also have broader implications for the social and economic well-being of the community as a whole. Imagine working for decades, sacrificing personal comforts and enduring long separations, hoping to reunite your family, to finally have your loved ones by your side after years of longing, only to see that dream labeled as a problem, to have your aspirations dismissed as a burden on society. This is the harsh reality faced by many Filipino Americans who are simply seeking to build a better life for themselves and their families. Many leave loved ones behind, making the difficult decision to leave their families and communities in search of opportunities and a better future in the United States. To care for others in America, dedicating their lives to serving the needs of others, often at great personal sacrifice. They provide comfort, support, and essential services to those who need it most, contributing significantly to the well-being of American society. A heartbreaking irony, a cruel twist of fate that forces them to choose between their families and their commitment to serving others. Mixed-status families live in constant fear of separation, the ever-present threat of deportation casting a long shadow over their lives. This fear permeates every aspect of their existence, impacting their mental health, their economic stability, and their overall sense of well-being. The threat of deportation and stricter enforcement, the increased presence of immigration officials, and the implementation of more stringent policies creates anxiety that never fades, a constant undercurrent of worry that erodes their sense of security and belonging. This anxiety affects not only the individuals directly targeted by these policies, but also their families and communities. This isn't just policy. It's not simply a matter of bureaucratic procedures and legal frameworks. It's about dignity and recognizing decades of service, acknowledging the immense contributions that Filipino Americans have made to our society, and treating them with the respect and fairness they deserve. Even Filipino veterans, those who have bravely served in the U.S. military, face broken promises and bureaucratic limbo, struggling to access the benefits and recognition they have earned through their service. When we talk about immigration, when we engage in debates about border security and visa programs, we must see the people behind the statistics. We must remember that these are not just numbers on a spreadsheet, but real human beings with hopes, dreams, and families. The nurse at the end of a shift, exhausted but fulfilled, the family at the dinner table, sharing a meal and connecting after a long day. These are the real stories, the everyday moments that make up the fabric of their lives. Their contributions are immense. Their impact on our society is undeniable. Their uncertainty, undeserved. The anxiety and fear they face are a stark contrast to the dedication and service they provide. Is this truly the American way? Is this how we treat those who have given so much to our country? It's a question we must ask ourselves as we grapple with the complexities of immigration reform. The Vietnamese-American story is a tapestry woven with threads of resilience, hope, and profound displacement. It began with refugees fleeing the ravages of war, a desperate exodus from a homeland torn apart by conflict and uncertainty. These were families, individuals, and communities uprooted, carrying with them the weight of loss and the fragile seed of hope for a better future. They were seeking safety in America, a sanctuary from the storm that had engulfed their lives. The shores of the United States represented not just a geographical destination, but a promise of peace, stability, and the chance to rebuild shattered lives. The journey was arduous, fraught with peril, but the dream of a new beginning propelled them forward, and against all odds, they thrived. They built vibrant communities, enclaves of culture and connection that served as both a bridge to their past and a foundation for their future. These communities became havens where language, traditions, and shared experiences were preserved and celebrated, offering a sense of belonging in a new and often bewildering land. They worked tirelessly, contributing to the economic and social fabric of their new home, embodying the American dream through hard work, perseverance, and a deep commitment to family and community. They opened businesses, pursued education, and became active participants in the civic life of their adopted nation. But now, decades later, a shadow has fallen upon this hard-won success. Policy changes threaten to deport those who arrived before 1995, individuals who have spent the majority of their lives in the United States, contributing to its society and economy. This includes many elderly, with deep roots and extensive families here, who have become integral parts of the American landscape. They are grandparents, parents, and community leaders, whose lives are interwoven with the lives of their American-born children and grandchildren. Imagine escaping the horrors of war, the trauma of displacement, painstakingly rebuilding your life from the ground up, establishing businesses, raising families, and contributing to your community, only to face the agonizing prospect of deportation decades later, a threat that hangs over their heads like a dark cloud. Minor offenses, mistakes made long ago, often stemming from the challenges of adapting to a new culture and language, can now mean exile, a permanent separation from their families and communities. The emotional toll on these families is devastating. The fear of separation, the uncertainty about the future, and the sense of betrayal are deeply felt. The safety and security they had finally found has turned to fear and anxiety, a constant worry that threatens to unravel the fabric of their lives. This isn't just about legal technicalities or immigration law, it's about broken promises, the erosion of trust, and the fundamental meaning of sanctuary, and the values this nation claims to uphold. The community is forced to question its place in America, to grapple with the painful realization that the promise of welcome and belonging may not be as secure as they once believed. America's promise to these refugees was refuge, a haven from persecution, and a second chance to build a life free from fear. To walk that back, to threaten deportation after decades of integration and contribution, undermines the very ideals that welcomed these refugees with open arms and the promise of a new beginning. We're not just talking about abstract policy, we're talking about history, the historical context of the Vietnamese refugee crisis, and the moral obligations that arise from it. We're talking about memory, the collective memory of a community that has overcome immense adversity and contributed so much to American society. And we're talking about trust, the fragile trust between a government and its people, a trust that is essential for a healthy and functioning society. The fight to stay, the struggle against deportation, is not just a personal battle. It's a fight for the soul of America's promise, a test of its commitment to justice, compassion, and the enduring values of freedom and opportunity. Their journey, marked by both triumph and tribulation, is far from over, and their story continues to unfold, a testament to the enduring power of the human spirit. Finally, South Korea. South Koreans come to the U.S. for education, opportunity, and a new kind of dream. Stricter visa rules and a colder climate now make that dream uncertain. Families invest everything for a U.S. education, but the path to stay is narrowing. Many leave behind successful lives, seeking something different, only to face bureaucratic hurdles and instability. Small business owners and professionals worry about their future and their families. Anti-immigrant rhetoric hits home, threatening the sense of belonging. Family separation is a painful reality. Policies pit cultural values against immigration law. South Korean immigrants invest in America, bringing talent and ambition. When the welcome fades, America risks losing more than just people. It loses energy and hope. The cost of uncertainty is high. Every family's dream hangs in the balance. Is it a price worth paying? Thank you for listening and opening your heart to these stories. We've traveled through China, India, the Philippines, Vietnam, and South Korea. Not as tourists, but as witnesses. These are stories of hope, fear, and the search for a better life. If you believe in the power of understanding, please subscribe and help us share more journeys that matter. Every journey is unique, every story worth hearing. Let's build bridges, not walls. Travel safe and be kind.